Hey there, Sabine here. Hope you're having a fabulous day. So today I wanted to talk about the word of the year. So as we are closing out 2025, moving into 2026, I know a lot of people are goal setting, they're reflecting, they're resting, they're doing nothing, all of the above. But one of the exercises that I usually do at the end of the year is my word of the year. And that actually happens before I even set goals, mostly because I feel like the word of the year kind of serves as the anchor that I use to determine what my goals are going to be and how I move through the year. So some years it comes forward as a word that drops into my spirit, and I just know that this is where I want to be, where I need to be, and what the outcome of the year is going to be. And I can think back to 2024, the word aligned or alignment was very strong for me because I just felt like I was moving into a season or into a space where things were coming into alignment. I was coming into alignment with who I am, my purpose, my destiny, what I wanted to create in my life, and what I wanted to create as my legacy. And so that word alignment came forth very, very, very strongly. Last year or this year, 2025, my word has been momentum. And there was a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. It just didn't show up in the way that I expected it to. And I remember researching or looking up the word momentum as opposed to alignment. And one of the things said that momentum is alignment in movement. So I was just like, okay, I kind of get it. I have my word of the year for 2026, and that word is expansion. And that word came to me probably about a month or so ago. There have also been times prior years where I didn't have a particular word or I wasn't doing this as formally. And so there was an exercise that I used to go through to help me determine what that word was because I wanted the word to be purposeful. I didn't want it to just be another cute word. I knew that it was a word that I was going to use to anchor me, anchor the way that I made decisions, anchor what I said yes to, anchor what I said no to, anchor the direction of my goals. And so I'll give you the high level overview of this particular exercise if you're that type of person who likes to set a word of the year, or if you've never done it before and you kind of want to try it out this year. And so, again, for me, word of the year is not something cute or sometimes it's aspirational, but there usually is a very deep meaning to it because in those moments when my life doesn't look like the word, that's what I use to recall or to remind myself of what the entire process is meant to look like. So, first and foremost, your word of the year, choose one word that'll guide your decisions, your focus, and your growth this year. So, if you haven't thought of a word yet, think about what feels right for you right now. And then also what feels off right now. Having gone through most of this year, where did you feel like you gave away your power? Where did you feel like you weren't necessarily in the driver's seat? And then on the flip side of that, what do you want more of? Where are the times that you did feel like you were in the driver's seat, where you were in control? And then what do you want to grow, right? So think about within yourself, within your business, within your family, within your organization, whatever that looks like. What are the qualities that come to mind that you really, really want to grow? Is that focus? Is that peace? Is that courage? It could be discipline. It could be ease. It could be trust. It could be confidence. What are the areas or what is one particular area in which you want to grow? And then also make it practical, right? So if this word were guiding me, think about it from this perspective. If the word that you choose, like let's just say courage or discipline, if that word was guiding you, what would you do differently this upcoming year that you haven't done this year or maybe in past years? What's one decision that you're willing or can make each month to honor that particular word? So again, it's not just a word that we're going to choose and then just let it sit there. It's a word that we're going to use to be our anchor so that we know what we're working towards and what outcomes we're trying to create, as well as the word that guides our decisions and our actions and our behaviors. And then what's one goal that this word actually inspires for the upcoming year? So how does it tie in to what you're anticipating or what you're expecting to happen for you, for your business, for your life, for your career, for whatever in this coming year? And then you have to do a reality check, right? So check your environment. What supports this word in my life right now? And then what doesn't support it? So, if your word is discipline and there are areas of your life that you're not disciplined, then those are things that you need to examine. Those things, those environments, those people that perhaps there needs to be a shift so that you can maintain and anchor down into your word of discipline, if that's your word. Also, what has to come off my calendar? What needs to go on my calendar so that I can maintain this word? And again, I'm using the word discipline, but that could be courage, that could be ease, that could be all of those. And then claim it. So that means claim it as your word, put it wherever it is that you need to put it so that you are reminded on a regular basis that this is my word. Tell as many people, if you like to tell people your word, tell as many people as this is my word, because the more you lean into it, the more you embody it, the more you believe it, the more that word starts to become part of your reality and everything that you do. So that's what I have for you today. I encourage you, if you haven't already, at some point, take some time to really put some thought into your word of the year, the word that is going to be your guide, your anchor, your truth, and the word that reminds you of what it is that you're working towards for the year. With that, have a great rest of the day. We'll talk soon. Take care.